to my kitchen. This is Josh Fry from Maitri Multimedia, and today we're going to learn how to make some seitan. So for those of you who don't know, seitan is a wheat-based meat replacement. You can use this to make all kinds of delicious things, from things that like ribs or wings or sandwiches or all kinds of different things. So you can put your favorite seasonings on this, and we'll get to that part a little bit later. But right now I'm going to show you how to make it. So this is a modified version of Native Foods recipe. They have a delicious seitan sandwich, and they have a cookbook, which hopefully we'll link to it down there. I took that and I modified it a little bit. We've played with the recipe and found kind of what works for us. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. So the first ingredients would be, you kind of have to make a broth first. So that entails 12 cups of water, 1.5 cups of soy sauce, 6 cloves of garlic, 2 pieces of ginger, sliced 1-inch thin, 10 peppercorns, 4 whole bay leaves, and then 2 pieces of kombu, sliced 1/2-inch thin. And then so you mix that all in a large crock pot and you bring it to a boil. And then after you do that, you reduce it to a simmer. I like to do it probably about a 4, just because I like to make sure it just kind of works better for me. So reduce that to from like a 6 to a 4, depending on your oven. So then you'll add all of your ingredients, mix together. They'll become kind of like a very doughy thing. And then you'll take your cheesecloth and it'll make about 2 small loaves. And then you put those loaves in your broth, and then you cook that for about 45 minutes. And then you come back and turn off the heat, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then you take it off. And then you remove the cheesecloth while it's still hot, not too hot so you don't burn yourself. Then you can set it aside. I like to personally put mine in the fridge for a moment, and then once it's nice and cool and kind of firm, it's easier to cut. So then you can cut it into slices or cut it into small pieces or chunks or whatever you're trying to do. All right. So now we're going to get into making the actual seitan itself. So to start off, we're going to need 2 cups of vital wheat gluten. I use Anthony's premium vital wheat gluten. You can get it on Amazon. There's a link down below. This stuff, it's pretty much so if you're gluten free, this isn't going to be a recipe for you. But I prefer this to tofu. I've just kind of recently understood how to make good tofu. It's a process, like anything. So we need 2 cups of this guy. All right, there. We need 6 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. This I got. I think I got this at Whole Foods, but you can get it anywhere. I'll put a link down below for some nutritional yeast as well. 6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. I can't really count 4, 5, 6 without doing an impression of the count from Sesame Street. I'm not sure if anybody else has that disorder, but I don't know. That's one of my things. All right, 2 teaspoons of onion powder. So this is actually an enhanced recipe. So we're actually going to add 2 more. So that'll be we're going to just say 4 for that. Onion, cool. There. 2 teaspoons of black pepper. This one actually calls for, this recipe calls for black peppercorns. But, you know, we're kind of short on groceries right now because it's hard to find stuff in stores. And I don't want to go out. So, just going to use just regular ground pepper. So, it calls for 2, and then for the peppered version, which I prefer, it goes with another 4, so that'll be it for a total of 6. All right. Additionally, calls for a bunch of garlic. Didn't have any fresh garlic right now, so we're just going to use additional garlic powder because it's usually easier to find. So we'll say 2, we're going to say 6. 6. And that is all the dry spices except for paprika. So the Native Foods recipe doesn't call for paprika, but I personally really enjoy it and it gives it a nice color. So we're gonna do, we'll say 3 teaspoons of paprika. All right. Now I'm gonna give that a stir. Mix all the dry ingredients together. Not too much, you don't ever over stir. Apparently that's the thing. All right, and then now we need 1 cup of either water or vegetable stock. I'm just gonna use water because it's more accessible. All right. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 2. And then a 1/2 cup of low sodium soy sauce. If you don't have low sodium, you can just use regular soy sauce if you got it. Well, just try not to get too salty. All right, that is not enough. Soy sauce. And then 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. Give that a nice stir. It smells amazing already. Now we're going to, I'm going to put this in the microwave for probably about 10 minutes. Let it just hang out, form, and kind of rise. It's not actually making bread. There's no yeast involved, but you know, it's a very similar to bread making process. So take that, I'm just going to let it chill out for a minute, and then we'll come back and check on it in 10 minutes, and then we're going to throw it in the broth. So it's been about 10 minutes. I got the seitan out of the microwave, where it was just hanging out. It wasn't you weren't microwaving it. We were just letting it store. I just put it, you know, you could leave it on the counter if you don't have cats or animals in your house, but I put mine in the microwave so the cats don't get to it. So now you just want to grab a nice loaf size, and you can kind of form that, and then throw that on your cheesecloth, and then just give it a nice roll. And I like to just kind of go like, give it a nice little twist, and then you can just kind of with a single knot, and then just dump that right in there carefully. All right, put out the second one. Form that into nice. There we go. Do the same thing with this one. Give it a nice little single knot. Boom. Dump it in there. All right, well that's that. So we're gonna come back in about 45 minutes and check on that, and then it'll be pretty much ready to eat from there. All right, hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you soon. All right, so now it's been about an hour. At this point we've got two nice well-cooked seitan loaves. You just kind of unwrap from the cheesecloth, and then put that to the side. You'll just wash that and reuse it. Do the same thing with this one. The bay leaf back in sauce. All right, these are very hot. Let's carefully transport them into this container. All right, so that's that. I'm going to throw those in the fridge for about 20 minutes to an hour. Let them kind of firm up so it's easier to cut, and then it'll be ready to eat. So thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.